welcome to the Daily English Podcast. Have you ever wished you could travel back in time?
Oh, I think everyone wants a time machine.
Right. Like maybe you want to visit yesterday, just to change a small mistake.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want to travel 20 years into the past.
Yes, just to see your old childhood home one more time. We all think about time travel.
Exactly. Because, well, the past is a really big part of who we are today.
It is. It really is.
So today, we're going to show you how to do it. You do not need a machine built with metal and wires.
No, definitely not.
You just need English words. We are doing a special deep dive into a very important skill today. We are going to learn how to talk about the past.
I love this topic because
Yeah.
when you learn to talk about the past in English, you open a new door.
A new door.
Yes.
Right.
You can tell people your story, you can share your memories and your feelings.
Right. And that is how we connect with people, right?
Exactly. This is how strangers become good friends. You share your past.
I really like that idea. I mean, learning grammar is not just about memorizing rules from a book.
No, it should not be boring.
It is like turning the dials on our time machine. We change a few words and suddenly, boom, we travel to yesterday.
Yes. Or we traveled 10 years ago.
So let's start turning the dials. I think we should start with a time that is very close.
Okay. Like yesterday.
Yes, let's travel back to just yesterday.
Yesterday is the perfect place to start our journey. I mean, it is close to us, and it is usually, well, easy to remember.
Yeah, usually. I was reading a story in our sources earlier today. It was about someone's morning.
Oh, a morning story. Was it a good morning?
No, it was a very slow, difficult morning. They had a really big fight with their alarm clock.
Oh, the snooze button struggle. Yes.
Have you ever had a fight with the snooze button?
Oh, definitely. You know, the alarm rings. You press the button so you can sleep for like 5 more minutes.
Right, just 5 more.
Then it rings again, and you press it again.
Exactly. Well, this person had a morning full of chaos. In fact, they said they had a full conversation with their blanket.
Wait, a conversation with a blanket?
Yes.
That sounds like a very sleepy person.
It really does. But we all feel this way, right?
Yeah.
The room is cold. The coffee machine is like so far away.
And the blanket is so heavy and warm.
Exactly. So in their mind, the blanket said, stay here. It is safe.
Oh, wow.
And the person said, no, I must go make coffee. I must go to work. But the blanket said, work can wait. Sleep is better.
That is so funny. And, sometimes the blanket wins.
Yes, it does. We stay in bed too long.
It is a very normal human feeling. And, well, the grammar for this kind of story is actually very simple.
Oh, good. Simple is good.
Yes. To talk about yesterday, we use the simple past tense. For many action words, you just add a small sound at the end.
A sound. Like what?
You add the letters E and D.
Oh, okay. So it is like I put a little time tag on the word.
Exactly. A time tag. You tag the word to show it is finished.
Right. It is in the past.
Yes. So, for example, the word cook becomes cooked.
Cooked. I hear the sound.
And the word work becomes worked. And watch becomes watch.
So I can just say, yesterday I cooked pasta.
Yes, perfect.
Or yesterday I watched a movie. It is finished.
Yes. There was another story we looked at today. A man went to visit his cousin in the countryside.
Oh, the countryside. That sounds nice.
Well, he wanted a quiet morning. He wanted to sleep late because his city is so loud.
Right. The countryside sounds very peaceful in our minds. Like green grass, quiet trees.
But reality is sometimes different.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He told his friend yesterday, I visited the countryside and heard a very loud rooster at 5 in the morning.
Oh, no. A loud rooster at 5 a.m.
Yeah, he did not get his quiet morning.
That is terrible for him. But I hear the time tags in his sentence.
You do?
Yes. He said visited and heard. Those are past tense words.
Exactly. Visited has the ED tag.
But, here is where it gets a little tricky for me.
Where's the tricky part?
Well, if I am talking to a friend, and I just use a list of simple past verbs, it feels a bit strange.
How do you mean?
Like if I say, I woke up, I cooked, I worked, I watched TV, I slept.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I sound like a robot. I mean, I am just reading a list. How do I make it feel like a real story?
That is a great question. Our human brain's like a path. We like to see how one thing leads to the next thing.
All right, a path.
If you just give a list, the listener feels, well, a little lost in time. We need signs on the road.
Signs on the road.
Yes. We call these signs sequence words.
Sequence words. Like putting things in order.
Yes, exactly. Words like first, next, and after that.
Oh, those are very simple words.
They are simple, but they change everything. Try your story again.
Okay, let me try. Instead of sounding like a robot, I can say, first, I woke up and talked to my blanket.
Good.
Next, I made coffee. After that, I cooked pasta.
Do you hear the difference?
Yeah, I really do.
It flows like a river now. The sequence words hold the story together. Your English sounds much more natural.
Wow. First, next, after that.
Yes, you sound like a friend telling a story, not a robot reading a list.
I love that.
Okay,
So, yesterday's easy. We use the simple past, and we use sequence words.
correct.
But what if we want to turn the dials on our time machine much further?
Oh, how far?
Like, what about things we did 20 or 30 years ago?
Now we are going deep into the past. We are going to our childhood.
Yes. You know, in English, people love to talk about the distant past. We have some fun phrases for this.
We do.
Like, when we remember something from a long time ago, we often say, that is a throwback.
Yes, throwback is a very popular word, especially online.
Really? How do people use it online?
Well, people post a picture with a funny haircut from 10 years ago, and they write throwback under it.
Oh, yes. I see that all the time. We also say, that takes me back.
Takes me back. Yes, that is a good one.
Or we talk about friends we knew way back in the day.
Way back. It shows we are traveling far back in time.
Right. But, you know, when we go way back, we have a new grammar rule to learn from our sources.
We do. When we talk about old habits, things we did again and again when we were young,
Yes.
we use the phrase used to.
Used to. USED space TO.
Yes. Used to.
One of the stories we read had a very funny example of this. It was an adult talking about their old lunch habit.
Oh. What was a habit?
They said, I used to eat the exact same cheese and tomato sandwich every single day.
Every single day. Wow. Why did they do that?
Well, because they were a tired student.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they were lazy and they did not want to think about food. They found one sandwich they liked and they never changed it
That is a perfect use of the phrase, I used to eat.
because it was a habit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It means they ate that sandwich every day in the past. It was a strong habit. But they do not do it now.
Right. The habit is finished.
Exactly. The habit is totally finished.
Another person in the story said, I used to play in a rock band.
Oh, rock band. That is cool.
Yeah. Back then, they had long hair. They played loud music late at night.
And now?
Well, today, they work in an office with computers. They have short hair, and they go to bed early.
Wow. So used to shows a big change.
Yes.
A big change between who we were then and who we are now. This is a very useful phrase.
It really is. You know, it makes me think about school. We all change so much after school.
We really do.
We often talk about the different groups of students in school, like we call these school stereotypes.
Yes, there are many different types of students. For example, there's the rebel.
The rebel.
Yes. A rebel is a student who wears black clothes, listens to loud music, and, well, does not like following the rules.
I definitely knew some rebels. Like every school has them.
True.
Then there's the party animal.
Oh, yes. The party animal.
This is a student who loves to go out. They dance, they laugh loudly, and they want to talk to every single person in the room.
They are very social.
Extremely social. And we also have the academic student.
Right. The academic student loves books. They study very hard. They worry about their grades.
Always in the library.
Yes. They truly enjoy learning new things.
So, turning the time machine to your past, what kind of student did you used to be?
Oh, I was definitely an academic student.
Really?
Yes. I was quiet. I sat near the front of the room, and I loved the library. What about you?
I think I was a mix.
A mix.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a party animal because I loved talking to my friends, but I was also academic. I really loved my history class.
That is a good mix.
But wait, I have a quick question before we keep going.
Of course. Let's hear it.
So, I understand using used to for old habits. Like I used to be a party animal.
Right.
But my coworker at the office yesterday said, I'm getting used to the new computer software.
Ah, yes.
I am confused. Is my coworker talking about the past?
No. This is a very common point of confusion for English learners.
It is.
Yes. The phrases sound almost exactly the same, but they are completely different.
Okay, please help me understand.
Well, used to, like we discussed, is an old habit. It is finished. It belongs in the past.
Okay. Past habit. Got it.
But get used to means you are becoming comfortable with something new right now.
Oh. So it is about a change happening in the present.
Yes, exactly. Your coworker has new software. It is strange and difficult at first,
Right. New computers are hard.
but every day it becomes easier. They're becoming comfortable. They're getting used to it.
I see.
Another example, if you move to a very cold city, your body feels cold at first. But after a few months, you might say, I am getting used to the winter weather.
Oh, that is so clear. Used to means a finished old habit.
Yes.
And get used to means becoming comfortable with something new today.
You got it. It is a small difference, but, it helps you sound very natural.
Thank you for explaining that. That is really helpful.
You are welcome.
So let's jump back into our school memories. Thinking about those school stereotypes brings back so many memories.
It does.
Sometimes a memory comes to us through our senses.
Our senses, like smell or hearing.
Yes, like the smell of floor cleaner or the loud, sharp sound of a school bell.
Oh, the school.
Yeah. It instantly takes me back to my very first day of school.
The first day of school is a very strong memory for almost everyone.
It really is.
I mean, it is a day of huge changes. The building looks like a giant castle. The people are strangers.
Right.
And for the first time, you are away from your family for the whole day.
We looked at some beautiful stories about the first day of school in our sources.
Yes, we did.
One person remembered feeling, well, absolutely terrified.
Very scared.
Yes.
Mm.
They were holding their mother's hand so tightly. They looked at the big doors of the school and just wanted to go back home to their safe bedroom.
Oh, it is very normal to feel scared. The world feels too big when you are small.
It does. But another person had a completely different memory.
Oh.
Yeah, they were not scared at all. They were thrilled.
That is wonderful. Why were they so happy?
Well, they had a brand new pink backpack.
Ah, a pink backpack.
And they had new white shoes. They walked into the classroom ready to show everyone their fashion.
That is so cute.
And they sat at a small wooden table. Another child was sitting there. So they shared their crayons.
Oh, sharing crayons.
Yeah, they drew pictures of the sun and grass together. And just like that, they made their first friend.
It is amazing. Sharing a crayon is such a small thing.
Right. But it is like a business deal for children.
A business deal.
Yeah. You give me a red crayon, I give you a smile, and boom, now we are best friends for the next 10 years.
That is very true. It is amazing how a simple action starts a friendship that lasts for years.
It really is. But, the classroom is only half about the students.
What is the other half?
It is mostly about the teachers. Many people remember their childhood teachers in very similar ways.
Teachers shape our lives. They really do. A good teacher makes a big, scary school feel like a safe living room.
That is a beautiful way to say it. And we read about some amazing teachers today.
Yes. First, there was Miss Sarah.
Right, Miss Sarah.
She was a teacher in a giant school with 1,000 kids.
1,000 kids. That is huge.
Yes. It is easy to feel lost in a place like that. But Miss Sarah was so kind. She learned every student's name on the very first day.
Wow. That takes a lot of work.
It does. And then there was Mrs. Wilson.
Oh, I remember her story.
She had soft gray hair and a very warm smile. When a student felt nervous or started to cry, Mrs. Wilson just smiled at them.
Just a smile.
Yes. Her face told them, you are safe here. Everything is fine.
That is so sweet. And there's Mrs. Romano, too.
Yes, the English teacher.
I love this story. She took a student's essay, stood in front of the whole class, and read it out loud.
Wow, in front of everyone.
Yes. And she looked at the student and said, "This is excellent work."
That is wonderful.
She made that student feel like a real writer.
And we also read about Mr. Henderson, an art teacher.
Right, Mr. Henderson.
A student was crying because their painting looked messy.
Poor kid.
But Mr. Henderson gave them a beautiful piece of advice. He said, art isn't about being perfect. It is about expressing yourself.
Expressing yourself.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. Showing the world who you really are on the inside.
Exactly.
Looking at all these teachers like Miss Sarah, Mrs. Wilson, Mrs. Romano, Mr. Henderson, they all share one special quality.
What is that?
They were very encouraging.
Encouraging. That is a very powerful English word.
It is. I see the word courage inside it.
Yes, courage.
And courage means you are brave. So does encourage mean you put bravery inside someone else?
That is a wonderful way to explain it. Yes. To encourage someone means you give them support, hope, and confidence.
So you give them courage.
Right. When a child feels scared and weak, an encouraging teacher looks at them and says, you can do this. I believe in you.
They give the child bravery. I love that.
Yeah.
We all need encouraging people in our lives, even as adults.
We really do.
But, well, we should be honest, not all school memories are warm and happy.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Some memories are just painful. I have to share one funny, embarrassing memory from the stories.
Oh no, we all have those. What happened?
So this person had to give a presentation.
Okay.
They had to stand at the front of the room and speak to 30 students.
That is scary.
Very scary. So they walked up to the front, they opened their mouth, and total disaster.
Oh no.
They forgot every single word.
The mind just goes completely blank.
Yes. Their face felt incredibly hot. They just stared at their shoes.
That sounds awful.
They just stood there in silence for what felt like 100 years.
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing.
I can feel it. An embarrassing moment makes you feel awkward and shy. You just want to disappear into the floor.
Exactly.
But, well, it is just a part of growing up.
Yes. And the best part is that we can laugh about it today. It's just a story now.
Sure.
But, the classroom's only one part of the day. When that loud school bell rings at 3 o'clock, a totally different type of education begins.
Oh, playtime.
Yes, playtime.
The freedom of the afternoon. This is often the best part of childhood.
The absolute best part. I mean, no bills to pay, no office emails to answer. Just run out the door and play.
It is a great feeling. We read about some classic outdoor games.
Yes, hide and seek.
Hide and seek is a favorite all over the world.
It really is. One person covers their eyes and counts. 1, 2, 3. Ready or not, here I come.
And the other kids run away fast.
Yeah, they hide behind big trees or under cars or behind walls. You hold your breath, hoping they do not see you.
It is so exciting. People also talked about climbing trees.
Oh, I loved climbing trees.
Finding a big tree with thick branches, you climb up high, sit on the wood, and just look at the blue sky.
You feel like you are on top of the world.
You really do.
Those small outdoor adventures are so special. But sometimes a small adventure turns into, well, a small action movie.
An action movie.
Yeah. Do you remember the story about the ducks?
Oh, the duck pond. Yes, that was a great story.
So these kids went to a small pond in the park. They brought a bag of old bread to feed the birds.
A very normal activity.
Right. They threw a piece of bread in the water. One duck came, then 2 ducks. It was very cute.
But then the situation changed.
It changed very fast. 30 ducks came running out of the bushes.
30 ducks.
Yes. The ducks surrounded the children, loudly quacking and asking for bread.
Oh.
The kids were actually scared. I mean, when you were very short, 30 hungry ducks looked like an army.
That is so true. It is funny to think about now. I mean, a duck is small to an adult, but huge to a young child.
Very huge.
But besides these wild outdoor games, the stories also shared some very quiet, beautiful memories about family.
Yes. Family memories are the deepest ones we carry. Let's look at the dads and grandpas and moms from our sources.
Okay. One person talked about their dad.
What did he do?
He worked very hard to build a real treehouse in the backyard.
Wow.
Yes. He used heavy wood and nails. He built it high up in the branches.
That is every kid's dream.
Huh.
A secret hideaway.
Yeah.
A place where adults cannot easily enter.
Right. It is a private world just for the child.
That is so cool.
There was also a touching story about a grandpa. He taught his grandchild how to ride a bicycle.
Oh, riding a bike for the first time is terrifying.
Huh?
You feel like you are going to fall and break your arm.
Exactly. And this child did fall. They fell down many times. Their knees were dirty. They wanted to stop.
I understand that feeling.
But the grandpa was so calm and patient, he did not get angry.
What did he do?
He just held the back of the bike and said, "Just look ahead. Keep your eyes forward."
Just look ahead.
Yes. And it worked. The child finally found their balance.
Wow.
They pedaled the bike all by themselves down the street. They said the wind hit their face and they felt totally free.
They felt proud. They did something very difficult.
Exactly. That is a memory that stays with you forever. And then there was a very quiet memory about a mother.
Yes, I love this one. Every single night before it was time to sleep, the mom sat next to the child's bed.
Okay.
She turned on a small yellow lamp and she read a storybook out loud.
That is so nice.
The amazing thing is the child doesn't even remember the stories.
Really?
No. But they remember the soft sound of her voice and the warm light in the dark room.
That is beautiful. It is the simple moments that create the deepest joy.
It really is.
As adults, our lives are so busy, but it is wonderful to take time to talk to our parents about these memories.
Yes, definitely.
That next time you visit your family, ask them about their own life. Ask your mom, what was your childhood like?
That is a great question.
Ask your dad, what games did you play way back in the day?
That is a wonderful idea. Talking about all this, the treehouse, the duck pond, the warm lamp, the teachers, it makes me feel very warm and happy.
Good.
But if I'm honest, it also makes my chest feel a little heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah. It is slightly sad, because that time is gone. I can never go back to being a child with a pink backpack.
Is there an English word for this mixed feeling?
There is, and it is one of the most beautiful words in the English language.
Oh, what is it?
The word is nostalgic.
Nostalgic. Could you spell that for us?
Nostalgic.
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 Yeah.
What exactly does it mean?
It describes a mixed emotion. Your heart feels warm and happy because you are remembering a beautiful time from your past.
Okay. Warm and happy.
But your heart also aches just a little bit. You feel a small sadness because time only moves forward.
Oh, I see.
You know that beautiful time is finished, and it will not come back. It is a bittersweet feeling.
Bittersweet. Happy and sad at the same time. I feel very nostalgic right now exploring these childhood stories with you.
Feeling nostalgic means you lived a life with good moments in it. It is a good thing to feel.
That makes me feel better. Well, we have turned the dials on our time machine as far as they will go today.
We traveled far.
We really did. We traveled from yesterday's heavy blanket all the way back to the duck ponds of our childhood. It is almost time to bring the machine back to the present moment.
We covered a lot of important ground today. Let us summarize the tools we learned for our listeners.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Today, we discovered that talking about the past is how we share who we are. First, we learned how to talk about yesterday. We used the simple past tense by adding that little ed time tag.
Like cooked or worked.
Exactly. And we learned that to avoid sounding like a robot, we must use sequence words.
Words like first, next, and after that. They act as road signs to guide the listener through our story.
Perfect. Then we went way back. We learned to use the phrase used to when we talk about finished old habits.
Like, I used to eat the same sandwich. Or I used to be a party animal.
Right. And we explored some powerful new vocabulary. Encouraging for a person who puts bravery inside you.
And nostalgic for that beautiful, slightly sad feeling we get when we look backward.
Before we finish, I think many people listening right now might think, well, these are nice stories, but my life is normal. I don't have any exciting stories to tell in English.
I hear learners say that all the time, but it is completely untrue.
It is.
Yes, normal life is not boring. Your life is full of amazing small stories.
That is very true.
Your morning coffee struggle, your walk in the city, your memories of a kind teacher. These are all human stories. Strangers want to hear them.
Exactly. Your stories matter.
I highly encourage you to practice using your time machine today. Call a friend or speak to a family member.
What should they say?
Ask them this very simple question. What is your favorite childhood memory? Listen to their story and then share your own.
That is the perfect way to practice. And to close our deep dive today, I want to leave you with one final thought, something for you to think about after you finish listening today.
What is the question for our listeners?
Imagine you truly could step into a real time machine. Imagine you travel way back to the past.
Okay.
You walk into a playground and you see yourself as a very small child. If you could speak to that little child, what is one simple sentence in English you would say to them?
Oh, wow.
Would you say, do not be afraid? Would you say, you're going to do great things?
Yeah.
Think about what your younger self really needs to hear from the adult you are today.
That is a very deep question to end our journey on.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this special deep dive on the Daily English Podcast. We absolutely love taking this trip through time with you.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Remember, every time you practice speaking and every time you share a memory, you are growing your language skills.
Keep turning the dials. Keep sharing your wonderful stories.
Have a beautiful day, everyone. Keep your time machine ready for our next adventure. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.